Hey everyone, it's Mousie. Yep, and you're right. I'm not in the den. I'm in the kitchen. I was trying to film in my den, but my husband's phone went off, and it's loud. And I was in the middle of explaining to y'all, just ignore it. We'll talk through it, and it'll stop in a minute. And then my alarm went off, telling me it's time to wake the husband up. So, after trying a few more times and getting interrupted a few times by different things, here I am again trying to give y'all updates on things that's happened. That's my husband's. You know, he takes those to work along with other snacks and food. Now, the reason I'm telling y'all that is because in this update, I'm going to tell you what's happened with my doctor. I got a new one. I don't remember if I told you. But I got a new one after my other doctor had to move to be with her husband because he got a different job. So I got a different doctor. We were seeing him about some precancerous spots on my leg, and I had a couple of other concerns, and we talked them over, and things are going to be dealt with and done, and da-da-da-da-da. But one of the things I talked to him about was maybe having diabetes, because I've got two parents. They've passed away now. But I've got two parents that were on a lot of medicine. And because if you have even the tiniest hint that you might get diabetes in the future, and you probably won't, but some meds will kick that into being and you will get diabetes. So I had a concern. He did some blood work and I got a little ping notice in my email that my test results had come back. So I went to my patient portal and went, okay, let's see, this test looks fine. This one's fine. Oh, here's the glucose. Beep. Yeah. Looks like I've got diabetes. So, no more of those for me. Carbohydrates. So, I've got to watch out about the potatoes I eat, and I do like my mashed potatoes, and I like baked potatoes and French fries. So I've got to watch that. I'm not going to be on a regimented diet, and I'm going to talk to them about getting an oral medicine, because I already get labs done a few times a year. We're talking 3, 4, 6 times a year. And I have to have a shot 4 times a year for my B12. And so, my puppy may be about to go insane because there's a squirrel that's coming up to the sliding glass doors. And she loves chasing squirrels. And I got a funny for you about that. Oh, it's delicious. This morning, like every other morning, I take and get my cane, and get the dog, and we go down to pick up the newspaper. You know, just walk down the long driveway and pick it up. Well, we have the utility pole at the end of our house, and about 6-8 feet from that is a big oak tree. Yeah, we're gonna get that cut down one day. And when the dog goes out, first thing she does is she runs to the trees that she knows squirrels are in, and she runs around them checking for squirrels. Well, she got to the one by the utility pole, and she raced around it, and nothing, and all of a sudden she stops. Now, I'm not quite there yet, so I'm wondering why she's looking at the utility pole. And oops, we may have a bigger problem, because now baby Bess, the great ambush kitty, knows that there's a squirrel there, and she may be vocal, more vocal than the dog. So anyway, I'm wondering, why is she looking? And about 6 foot off the ground on the utility pole is a squirrel. And it's not facing up, it's facing down. So the dog's stopped and staring and watching, and she's trembling just a tiny bit. You know, you wouldn't know it unless you really looked at her. And she's excited, but she's not saying a word. And I'm about 15 feet away from the tree and the pole. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching and I'm waiting and I'm going, oh, squirrel, turn around and go up, turn around and go up. Nope. It continues to come down. 5 foot down, 4 feet off the ground, 3, 2, 1. It's off the pole, and there goes the dog. So I'm yelling, no, Ginger, stop, 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 stop. And Ginger got the squirrel. It squeaked. She was surprised. She let go. The squirrel got away. She pounced on it again. Between the utility pole and the tree, she caught it 2-3 times. Each time, for some reason, she lets it go. She really doesn't know what to do with squirrels. She's caught them before. And she just kind of holds on to them with one paw on their tail and looks up at you like, what do I do with it now? Well, you know, this time she caught a hold of the body a little bit, and it's like, oh wait, Mama says stop. Huh? What, Mom? And she gets distracted. So the squirrel gets to the tree, only climbs up a foot off the ground. Well, Ginger's excited, and that's still within her reach, so she goes for it again. So Ginger and the squirrel are playing tag yet again, with, Ginger being the one chasing and tagging. She doesn't bite the squirrel. She doesn't harm the squirrel in any way. It's just like, okay, I've got my foot on it. What do I do with it now? So the squirrel runs back. Oh, hello. The squirrel that was on the steps is now on the banister of the porch part of the steps. And both animals are watching intently. This might be the sun. Oh, it's gone to the tree. So now I can gesture. Anyway, from running to the tree to the pole, Ginger catches it a couple more times. And so the squirrel thinks, oh, well, never mind the pole. I'll run over to the other tree. I'm the other tree. It races over, and before I know what's going on, its 2 front paws are on my leg. How anyone could think that this is a tree is beyond me. I mean, this fabric, this checkered purple, red, white fabric is not a tree. So it puts 2 paws on me, and I'm like, what the? And I move a little bit, and it's like, oh, that's not a tree. It runs back over to the pole. It doesn't get to it before Ginger's caught it a couple more times. So this time it runs for the tree with Ginger on its tail. And this time runs halfway up the tree before it stops, turns around, and starts cussing us out. And when the squirrel was running towards me, the dog had stopped. It's like, wait, it's going to Mama. What's it going to Mama for? And then all of a sudden it turns back around because Mama moved. So it's like, oh, okay. The dog was hard to get back under control. She started sniffing for more squirrels all the way down to the newspaper box and all the way back up. She's looking for more squirrels to chase. And I'm laughing my hiney off. And it was hilarious. And then when we get inside, I go, and my husband's still awake. He works nights, so he sleeps days. But he's still awake. So I go in and I tell him, and he laughs. And it's hard to get him to really laugh. I mean, you sit there and you see something, you're like, oh, that's hilarious. And you tell him and he'll laugh a little. Or you think it's funny and he'll smirk. That's like, come on, that was funny. Laugh a little. But this time he laughed. He laughed good. And then one of the other times I was doing this, and I was telling y'all all about the squirrel and the dog, and my daughter calls. She has my sense of bad timing. So, thanks, child. But since she called, I'm like, okay, this is why I called you. And I told her, and I think she about wet herself. Because she was laughing hysterically. Because she knows how Ginger is with the squirrels. And she was just, it was hilarious. And if my son ever finds me on YouTube, then he'll think it's hilarious too. Because he hates squirrels. They used to throw things at him. They used to throw acorns at him. He would step outside to take the dog to go to the bathroom or to play with her. And this is when we had our first dog, Bubbles. He would take Bubbles out. And the squirrels would throw acorns down at him. And hit him. They did not like him. I think he started it. But then he started throwing things at them. And it started to escalate until one day, Diane and CJ spotted the squirrels throwing something down to the base of the tree. They went over and looked. It was animal bones. Now we have a lot of hawks and a lot of owls that are in the neighborhood, in the old neighborhood. And so, to me, it's like, okay, the squirrels happened upon this mess from the owls and are just trying to clean up and throwing the bones and stuff down. But to that little boy, it was like, oh, squirrels eat meat. Oh. So, yeah. That was like, okay, yeah, let's just not go ahead and antagonize the squirrels too much. So he started backing off. I don't know if the squirrels ever did back off from him, though. Well, there's 2 funny stories for you. And I'm Mousy, and I'm outie.